but generally you are disappointed. So we are teaching that you take Krishna's plan, you'll be happy. Don't make your own plan. You'll never be. This is Krishna consciousness.
Is the Krishna movement, is it still growing?
Is the Krishna movement still growing?
What do you think?
In numbers? Yeah, I think yes, but I don't know.
Yes. It must grow. If it is good, there must be customer. And if it is bad, it is cheating, there may be some customer for some time, then it will finish. That is the test of reality and false things. You can cheat persons with false things for some time. But if your commodity is right, I think the customer will increase. It's a fact. The more the people appreciate, here is a nice commodity, purchase it.
Do many people follow Krishna consciousness by reading books in this method?
No,
Yet
not only reading books, by practicing, by understanding, then it comes right.
But what proportion of those people, of all the people...
You cannot
enter the
expect
temple?
any good thing to be taken up by mass of people. That is not possible. In university, when matriculation candidates, there are so many. Then BA candidates, so many. And when you come to the MA, PhD, very few number.
Why is that?
You cannot expect that everyone should be MA, PhD. So Krishna consciousness is like that. It is not meant for ordinary person. Those who are very intelligent, they can understand. Ordinary man, they cannot understand even that he is not this body. But he will understand about Krishna. Therefore the beginning understanding is that I am not this body. When you are firmly convinced about this science that you are not this body, then Krishna consciousness is beginning.
And it's not necessary to live a temple life.
No, temple life is just like if you go to a school. So without a school you can't be educated. It is not that unless you go to school you cannot be educated. But if you go to school you get greater facilities. And that is the way. Just like in our country, Rabindranath Tagore, he never went to school. You have heard the name of Rabindranath Tagore?
Rabindranath Tagore.
Tagore.
Famous Indian poet.
So he never went to school, but Oxford University gave him PhD. That does not mean that I shall also receive PhD like Rabindranath. I shall not go to school. The general method is one must go to the school. Exceptional cases that without going to school one can become PhD. But we should not imitate that Rabindranath Tagore got PhD without going to school. I shall sit down. But the fact is that even without going to school one can get PhD. That's a fact. But that is not the method. The method is that you must go to the primary school, then secondary school, then enter college, then take your degree, then become MA, then PhD. That is the general process. Step by step. And And if you take the example of Rabindranath Tagore that he did not go to school, then I shall not go to school, then you may be spoiled also without going to school. That is generally the case.
How did you find the transition, or how did it affect you, the transition from leading a life in the business world to
So the
not
business world is not bad. Why do you think that because I was a businessman, therefore I could not be?
No, I just want to know how you found the transition.
No, this is our regulative principle. That first of all you be trained up as brahmachari, then you be entered into family life, then you retire from family life, then you become a sannyasi. This is a general procedure. Not that you shall stick to one position. So, a businessman does not mean he is fallen man. He can become first class Krishna conscious.
And still be a businessman? Or?
Oh yes, why not? Just like Arjuna, he is a military man. That is also another business. He is a military man. He knows how to fight. Similarly, businessmen have to make trade. So this is different grades of livelihood. Krishna consciousness does not depend on this life or that life. Everyone can become.
They know Vishwava.
Yeah, I understand.
Everyone can become. It is a question to understand that I am not this body. That is the beginning. The businessman can try to understand, a lawyer can try to understand, or a philosopher can try to understand. Everyone can do it. The real point is, first of all, try to understand that you are not this body. So where is the hampering? Becoming a businessman or family man or this or that. There is no hampering. We are trained up from the very beginning of our life by our parents. We got the opportunity. And businessman, no businessman, it doesn't matter. Ahituki apratihata jayatma samprasidati sabi pumsang karura. Find out these words. Ahituki apratihata. Krishna consciousness is unhampered by anything material. It does not mean that because you are a businessman you cannot be Krishna conscious. No. That is, you may be whatever you are, but you can become Krishna conscious at the same time. So, it is not the super excellency of English language, it is the subject matter. That formerly they used to speak in Sanskrit. Therefore it is recorded in Sanskrit language. It can be transferred to any language. The thoughts are there. That is real. Just like we are translating the thoughts in English, in Spanish, in Portuguese, in French. The real thing is the thought, not the language. But in Sanskrit language you will find very, very high thoughts. That is because it is in the old language.
Do you find that in the translation from the thoughts and the Sanskrit to the English words, and then from English words to the mass of the people's heads, do you find that there is much loss?
If you have grasped the thought, then you can express in any language. But if you cannot grasp the thought, then you cannot express. So, our translation is that we have received the thoughts as it is by the parampara system. Therefore it is presented so nicely, people like it. It is the value of the subject matter that we have to receive from authority.